Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the channel. It's Rad, and what we're going to do today, we're going to look into the week that it is coming. That will be the 8th to 14th of January 2024. Few notable, I don't know if they are notable, but transits. One is the new moon in Capricorn, 11th of January, which there is going to be a live stream for it at, I think it's Thursday, 11th of January, yeah, so on the very same day. And I believe that Mercury enters Capricorn is also something to be of note. In any way, that being said, first thing that we're going to do is the collective reading, the collective interpretation for the upcoming week of tarot, and the cards for it you can see into the thumbnail, but I'm going to show them to you anyway. And the first card for the week, that will be the Page of Cups. Influenced from one side, this is the elemental dignity, so we do have cards that influence one another. So the second card, or the card that influences the Page of Cups, that will be the King of Pentacles. And the other card that influences the Page of Cups, which is Temperance, is from the other side. Oh, guys. Happy New Year, Rocky. Well, yeah, that's usually how they call me in Bulgaria. I don't know where you came up with that, unless you are Bulgarian. I think if you aren't Bulgarian, you would have not known. I don't know, or it's a lucky guess. Well, Rocky, I'm quite well. Thanks for asking. Hopefully you're doing well as well. So, that is bound to be, at least according to these cards, is going to be bound to be a good week coming forward. In fact, with this elemental dignity of the Page of Cups and the Temperance, it could be better than kinda expected. For some, even the feeling, or rather like the experiences, could happen to be even extreme in terms of, you know, well, it's emotional fluctuation. And the emotional fluctuation is going to be going uphill rather than falling down into the abyss here, because the other influence of the cards, as we saw, is the King of Pentacles. Okay, and this thing it does shows that throughout the week we are about to find ourselves being quite ready for a new emotional attachments, and we will be able to find those new emotional attachments, and we're not going to bring any luggage or baggage, whichever way you want to call it, from one attachment to another. So I don't know how to put it into words, but for example, we're not going to burden our relationship with our job and vice versa throughout the week. That is as far as it goes with a personal experiences throughout the week. So don't be surprised if you do find, for example, new hobby that you like, or person that you like, or I don't know, activity that you like, or just an idea that you do like. Because that's how the emotional attachment pretty much is going to play out into the upcoming week. And through it, by the way, we're gonna start kind of like changing sight and view and perspective, if you will. It is very likely that we're gonna start looking into the world in a slightly different angle, or rather from a slightly different angle. It's a great week for love and relationships throughout these cards. It kind of shows that investing in it is gonna have a pretty good returns for us. Maybe not the same thing, but definitely the same value. as a return. And pretty much that wraps it up when it comes to the general interpretation for the week. Again, just to stress a little bit more here, is that this week is going to be an emotional ride. I don't want to say roller coaster because it isn't. It's more of a ride, and it will be good if we do allow that to kind of like envelop us and carry us forward, the emotional heights, I mean. So with that said, few notes about the show before I do move forward. There are going to be 12 readings now, just like this one for each star sign. I'm going to carry on with the ecliptic, meaning that I'm going to start from Aries and I'm going to end up with Pisces. And bear in mind that these are a star sign reading, so depending on how influential one star sign or another is in your chart, that will determine how much these readings are going to affect you. But bear in mind again that they are very seldom happen to be the exact answer to whatever questions you do have, so take them more like a guidance. And if you do want your personal situations and problems to be a subject of my reading skills, you can go to my website, which link you will find in the description down below. And there at the very front page, you can see a full list of my services and as well their pricing. And for any of you who enjoyed the show and you wish to support us, you can do so either via Super Chat or via PayPal, which link as well you're going to find in the description down below. And for anyone who supports us, you are going to have a reading at the end of the stream. That's pretty much guaranteed. Just like Rocky, thank you for the 28 Canadian. Thank you, Rocky. And as well, Taco, thank you for the $33.33. Thank you, mate. So let me put you guys into the list. Hey, Cinnamon Kiss. Happy New Year. All right, Taco, we're going to see what's the story for you into the for the upcoming week. But first things first, first star sign we do have on our hands, that will be Aries, and you can track which star sign I'm reading for by kind of like seeing the glyph, which is right here. All right, so for Aries first card, we have the star, followed by or influenced by from one side by the Ace of Wands, and influenced from the other, which is the Nine of Wands. Aries are going to have a great week coming forward here. And I don't know if this is going to be a long-lasting emotional attachment, but definitely that will be a super exciting week for Aries. Now, for the most of you, because I'm going, with the general public here, how you're going to find yourself very early into the week, it is that you don't have any more problems or pressing issues, for lack of better expression here, and therefore that you are unhinged, like you are unshackled. Now you can do so many other stuff. Now you can go forward with so many, for example, ideas, so many, for example, activities, and so on and so forth. And go figure, many of them are gonna kind of like answer to whatever criterias and whatever ideals you do have. So that will be a week for you for taking on a new enterprises. And gosh, there are going to be quite so many. And in order to kind of like how can I put it into words? Accommodate all of them, you are gonna have to reshuffle whatever schedule you do have within your life. I mean, if you do want to kind of like at the end of the week when you draw the line say, yep, I tried everything that was presented to me throughout the week, there are going to be quite a lot. People, activities, opportunities, if you will, because yeah, this week is going to bring to you not one but many gainful enterprises, and every single one of them is going to have something new to offer. So you're definitely going to have your chance, so to speak, to make new emotional attachments, which in your case also are going to be quite exciting as such. From a long-term project to unfolding love, you name it, any one of those is and in between is kind of possible, and it has the potential to be there to stay. So take your pick. It's what I say. All right, next. Taurus. Wait, what happened? Kind of a hacker you're talking about, girls. That is something I missed, apparently. Two of Wands. Ten of Wands, I'm sorry. And the Hierophant. Those three. And your undertakings into the upcoming week are bound to become quite more serious than they are right now. And when I say more serious, I'm not even kidding. They will be quite laborious, for a lack of better expression, your undertakings. They're going to carry on with more requirements, more stipulations, and generally more stuff that you need to hold up to. But also the rewards are to increase. The rewards in your work are to increase. The rewards in your personal life are to increase. Generally the rewards at every level are to increase. And at least according to these cards, what are going to be good for you to do, Taurus, into the upcoming week, 8th to 14th, is to focus on the things that you do have already made a significant and good progress. I don't want to say awesome, but there are quite a few that you do have an awesome progress. So focus on those that you already have some progress at and expand on this progress, because this is going to be a powerful week for you to do so. It's expand on the relationships that are flourishing, expand on the projects that are, working out, and so on and so forth. But that is not a week. This is something like a warning here. This isn't a week where it's going to benefit you in the long run to kind of how can I put it into words? To prove your worth, so to speak. I mean, if people know how much you're worth and are you trustworthy above everything else, That's great. If they don't, well, you don't need to prove it at least throughout this week. I don't know why, but that is what these cards are saying. Another thing, be very careful what you say in terms of promises, because you are going to be held up to that. And in generally, any statement you do, you are going to be held up to it throughout the week. All right, next, Gemini. Okay. Yeah, impersonators, they are all around. In fact, recently there was a situation here in my country where someone impersonated a politician and asked for a money donations. I mean, can you imagine? The Hierophant, followed by or influenced by Page of Wands. And the other, from the other side, the influence is going to be the Strength card. I'm gonna need a few seconds here. But one thing that these cards are speaking about is to be careful with where you're placing your trust, Gemini. Because yeah, it's a good deck. Because it does look like that you will cross paths on quite a few occasions. With, I believe that, you know, in the English world, these type of individuals are referred as a shallow people. What I mean is that, you know, they kind of like speak big, but they are not as, I don't have that big of an intention. So you may end up placing your trust into someone's statement, okay, or into a kind of like someone's idea, proposition, or whatever the case, and it's likely to turn out not as big as they have promised or as they have stated. What is more interesting, it is the other elements of dignity here in between the Hierophant and the Strength card. That is like doubting thyself, having the need to having the need for approval or a reassurance. Like, for example, you know, you have some kind of an idea, it's a great idea, but you don't feel certain, you don't feel secure to pursue it unless it is confirmed, say, by a good friend, by an authority within the family, and so on and so forth. And throughout the week is going to that kind of a state of yours is going to be worked over, or you are going to work it. You're going to work it over, so you become more confident when it comes to identifying directions that are good for you. 'Cause this is what we're talking about here. You're going to come up with something that is good for you, not necessarily could be good for your family, not necessarily could be good for your colleagues or for your friends, but it is good for you. And at some point, you know, one has to do what is good for them, isn't it? So that is going to be a week where you're going to build up not just the temporary but a permanent courage to start doing things that are a good for you. So now some of you are gonna build a lot of that, some of you are gonna build less of it, but still there are gonna be some build up in that regard. And after this week is over, it's very likely that you're gonna find less and less need, you know, to kind of like explain yourself to people why you're doing one or another thing. All right, next, Cancer. Well, yeah, I mean, we all had our, lows in life. Queen of Cups. 10 of Swords. 7 of Wands. Queen of Cups and 7 of Wands. That is when, a person has too much of a, or too much to lose. And these cards aren't showing that what you have is to be threatened in any way, but kind of like realizing, how much you have to lose will make you feel threatened on his own. And from that regard, this week is going to be a bit on the edge, all right? And you may kind of like be more, not you can, but you will, more sensitive to exterior influences, so to speak. For example, comments about your family, comments about yourself, comments about your job. It's just from a people and individuals that have nothing to do with it, but in any case, they are trying to influence it in one or another way from outside. So exterior influence, you're going to be extremely sensitive to that. And also very sensitive to how long things are gonna last, like how long your relationship is going to last, how long your job is going to last, and whatnot. And another subject, of your inner questions is going to be, how far can I go? Have I reached the top of it? For example, can I have another promotion at work, or that's it, and I will not gonna climb into this job or into this firm anymore. And also, can we be family, for example, if we are referring to relationship here? These are questions that you're gonna ask yourself throughout the week. Very unlikely to find the answer, by the way, because these cards are showing that because of this sensitivity and the exterior influence, more often than not throughout the week, you're going to have the need, literally, to make something about it. Don't. Just be patient. And it's not about observing, it's more about trying to plan the future. And the more you plan the future, the more you see that actually things are working out. That is pretty much the key. Not irrational problem solving and critical actions throughout the week, but more like kind of like weighing things in your mind, in your head, and trying to fit them in and kind of like plan about them throughout the week itself. You will see that actually you are in a quite of a good place. All right, next, Leo. Yearly resolution, what do you mean? Like promises to oneself to quit smoking, for example, or start working out, or these kind of things? If that's what you mean, well, you know, I tried that in the past. It isn't working, so I stopped doing that to myself. You're welcome, living girl. 9 of Wands. 6 of Cups. The Magician. Yeah, that's what I thought. Well, no, I'm not doing that to myself. Because then I feel bad and not just only bad, but also disappointed of myself. So I don't want to do that. Hello, Anna. Welcome to the stream. And Happy New Year as well. I don't believe I greeted you with that last time. All right, for Leo, it's a super good week. One thing that kind of like pains me to see here, and that is totally not your fault. Okay, it's no one's fault. But you won't be satisfied. And that is such a shame because you are gonna make so much progress. It's just you will not gonna find being satisfied from the progress itself, and that doesn't necessarily has to be your fault because you want so much. But it is very likely that some of the progress you will do is going to be within the shadows. So you do that progress, but you are unaware that you made so much progress. And when you draw the line by the end of the week, say, oh my God, so much toil, so much performance, you know, so much I have done, and so little to show up, which will be... I do apologize. Which will be untrue, because generally you're gonna find yourself that you have done a lot. You have contributed a lot for the society, for the family, for the job. Speaking about personal life and personal relationships, this is, especially if you're single here, okay, that is not a week to sit on the couch at home or to be buried in paperwork doing your job. I mean, you should do your job for as far as you have signed for it, but nothing more than that. You need to go out, you need to show yourself in front of people. And for those of you who can do it ostentatiously, the better, right? Because this is a week where you are going to attract people that will simply gonna like you for what you are, and they will not gonna require anything for you to change. So if we're talking about a perfect fit, it's the perfect week for that. And again, if you are single, you should go out and introduce yourself to the people and to the world. Job-wise, you're just gonna storm it, okay, and do great deal of breakthroughs and performances, but again, you may not be aware at this time for that. All right, Virgo. The Father of Cups, the King of Cups, the Star, a Nine of Swords. Well, one of that should be the first thing that one should do. In fact, sometimes, you know, sometimes you can't get rid of those people that are a drain, right? But you can pull the plug, or rather like sever the drainage, so to speak, and allow those people to be a part of your life for as long as they are useful, but nothing more than that. By the time or at the time that they are costing more than earning more, then they do not have, they shouldn't be a part of your life. Because, you know, sometimes you can't just get rid of a colleague, right? Or of a neighbor, or of a, I don't know, a sibling, but you can restrict. All right. So for Virgo, this is going to be, guys, a week more oriented in terms of a, how can I put it into words, professional amplitude, so to speak. And within your job, within the work, or within the things that you are considering, you know, a job and work and profession of your own, you will have quite a few proposals. That could be a proposition for a raise. It could be a proposition for a new position, a new job, if you will. So that week is going to be great if you are looking for job, and not just if you are looking for job, but in general, for your job, for your career development. And you wouldn't know the half of it. What I mean, how serious the things are when it comes to that proposition and what is riding on it in general. So you should not take them lightly, because that is going to be your first instinct, okay, to take those proposals and these offers lightly, or the help, because that also could carry on a help. Someone offers you to help with your project, and saying, you know, no, I'm fine, I'm gonna handle it, shouldn't be an option for you. According to these cards, whatever proposed, whether help or whether an opportunity, there will be no need for you to kind of like reject it or deny it or whatever, because the seriousness of the issue at hand far greater than it is either revealed in front of you or you are comprehending at that particular point. So you do have a and how can I put it into words, an opportunity to get ahead right now. Don't screw it over. That's what we have. And as a general reading, if it comes to relationships into the upcoming week, you may feel I don't know how to explain it. Detachiness from the other side. Like, you know, you do have a girlfriend or a boyfriend based on your preferences, and but until this point everything was great, but this week you feel that they are disconnected. You're going out on a party, or I don't know, spending some time in the park, or with mutual friends, and you kind of feel them distant. They aren't. They just don't want to be ostentatious about what you have in between. Okay. And they may, or it is very likely rather, that they are going to act like friends amongst the friends with you, but being very gentle when you are just both of you together on your own, or like not being in the spotlight is what I'm trying to say. And this detachment that you may feel when you are in the crowd could be worrisome one. I mean, you're gonna see it worrisome one, but it isn't. Hello, News Devon. Happy New Year. Libra, next. Yeah, disengaging from social media is something that I am practicing in general. I do not post in Facebook or in whatever other social media. I don't track it down. Okay, I don't look into it. I don't care what my friends are posting. I have Facebook just purely for work and Messenger, so I can, you know, chat with people that I do care about. Other than that, I don't use it. I don't use Instagram. I have opened it about a few times in my life, you know, and all these apps. But it is great living without them, to be honest. All right, Libra, the Fool. Then we do have the Knight of Cups. And it is the Ten of Swords. All right, that week, one time, let's call it an offer, one-time offer. You take it or leave it, and that's not necessarily going to be an offer from a person. This is a, how can I put it into words, one-time window going forward to start something new. One-time window to start that new relationship, one-time window, I don't know, to go and live somewhere else, one-time window to strike that good bargain. Is going to be something good, all right? But you don't have much time, or you're going to have no time whatsoever to think about it. It's presented, you take it or leave it. That's what we have here. Other than that, the week is going to be, for the most part, uneventful according to these cards. And one more thing here, Libra, you can't change your mind later. That is also something that carries on with these cards. What I mean is that you start that work, your professional career is gonna change forever. You start that relationship, your personal life is gonna change forever. That will be either irrevocable or irreversible, irrevocable choice or irreversible action that you are going to do. And one more thing here that we do have, it is that you should not presume into the throughout this week, whatever presented, whether as an opportunity, whether as an offer and whatnot. It can go for as much as it can. I know that is a stupid expression, but literally, you cannot put value on it. That is what I'm trying to say here, because it is yet to be determined how far it can go, how far you can climb within the job, how much you can commit into the relationship, and so on and so forth. So just, you know, take it or leave it, but carry on with open mind going forward with it. All right, next, Scorpio. News Devon, thank you for the £10. Thank you. We put you into a list. Anna, thank you for the $20. Thank you, Anna. Let me put you as well into the list. Oops. You know what, guys? I don't even, as you mentioned, haters, I don't even bother. You know, I start with the comment that it is something spiteful, and I just don't bother reading it, finishing it to the end. Okay? So if it is just from 2 words, like, for example, you suck or something like this, yeah, of course I read it because I don't have much choice. But if it is a big paragraph and starts with something spiteful and carries on, I just don't even bother. I read the first couple of words and that's that, and I just leave it as it is. I don't even bother to delete it. That is how much attention haters needs to kind of like get. Because, you know, once I do have that comment, and I believe that that is the only hateful comment I read, because that's the only one I remember, is that I should go into, what did they say? I should pay for English tutoring so the tutor can make me pronounce the words correctly, something like that. And obviously that person did not include how language works, right? And that's the sounds you accustom yourself to pronounce sounds within the first 7 years of your life, and after that, learning language, your brain only can mimic sounds, try to mimic sounds. It cannot accustom itself to produce them. And there are sounds that, you know, from some languages, guys, that, you know, English speaking language cannot comprehend, or my Slavic type of language can't comprehend in English. Do you know how difficult for me is to code literally? All right, it's ridiculously difficult, and half of the times I'm not even saying it correctly. But in any case, I digress. Scorpio. 6 of Pentacles. Page of Pentacles. Well, nobody speaks Bulgarian aside from the Bulgarians. Why would you? I mean, it's pretty much a dead language. What I mean is that it will serve you no purpose to speak it. It's a super difficult language to speak, and it will serve you no purpose. Basically, the only place you are gonna need it is here in Bulgaria. 2 of Wanted is the next one, and we are one of that kind of language speaking that it is open for a, how can I put it into words, foreign languages, because there are a language group that aren't, and I know that Germany is one of them. What I mean is that when you are in Germany and you try to carry on with English, often you are not gonna face any, how can I put it into words, cooperation. I mean, I experienced that quite a few times. I have asked in English, where can I find whatever, and they pointed me into the opposite freaking direction. Who does that, right? And that doesn't happen only once, so it's not a coincidence, right? And I have heard from quite a few times that even if you speak German or Deutsch, how they call it, if you aren't perfect with your not vocabulary but articulation, you still can get screwed, right? So anyway, for the Scorpio, yeah, that's true, Cinnamon Kiss. Well, that's not gonna be exactly good week for Scorpio in term of progress for what those cards are showing here. Now, one thing that they do show, guys, it is that throughout the week, Scorpio is going to pull out, or we as a Scorpio we're going to be able to polish a diamond. From the coal, from the charcoal, we will be able to make it a diamond. But that is in terms of already a how can I put it into words, a possession. What I mean is that current job, current relationship, current undertaking. But new beginnings here are very, very unlikely within the upcoming week. Now, one thing that it is good is that we're gonna find ourselves right where we do belong, and what we belong to, and whom we belong to as well, as either a friend or a business partner, etc., etc. And we will face quite of a huge commitment from the people around us toward us and toward, a common undertakings. But aside from that, we're gonna wanna change something, like have some fresh air within our lives. And at least throughout the upcoming week, that's not going to be something possible according to these cards, because there is not going to be an opening for it whatsoever. So dive into what you are doing. You're doing it great. We are doing it great. And hopefully in a few weeks, but not into the upcoming one, we're going to have something new to be amused for and at and by. Well, you aren't alone in this, Cinnamon Kiss. You aren't alone in this. Do you know how long I have that mindset that I have to kind of like change something about my life? Have some fresh breath, some fresh wind, something. I'm gonna be happy on some kind of a storm even right now, but it isn't common, and it's not like I'm unhappy with how my life is. It is just I feel that it needs some refreshment. It isn't even about being better. It's about some refreshment in it. Sagittarius. Eight of Wands. King of Cups. The Moon. Well, for better or for worse, Sagittarius, according to these cards, what happens within the week will carry on no weight whatsoever for your future. And it just is going to be about the week itself. I don't know how to explain it. Okay, so that's a week where you can do huge, well, I don't want to encourage you to do so, but if something, can I put it into words, not very pleasant happens because of your mistake, it's highly unlikely that it's going to have any impact in your future development. For example, you screw up a lot in your work, it's highly unlikely that it's going to impact your career in the long term, right? Or you screw up in your relationship, it's highly unlikely that this is going to impact your love life in the long term. And I'm not saying, and bear in mind, I'm saying love life and career rather than relationship and job. Because, the job may end, the relationship may end, but you're not going to stay jobless or single for a very, very long time as a result. And this week is all about exploring your options and weighing them against one another. Because there are going to be quite a few openings that they simply won't be meant for you but also there are going to be quite a few openings that are going to be meant for you, or options available. And it will take a keen and open mind to discern which is which going forward, whether career-wise or whether job-wise. And one of the discerning factors is going to be, is that opening tailored for you, or is someone else is tailoring in it according to their, I don't know, expression, for example. So that said, that is not a week where you should look at propositions lightly. And in fact, it's a week where you should be very skeptical when it comes to proposals for relationships, for work, for job. That is a week where if you are to go for an option available, it should come from you. I mean, that is an option available that you opened up for yourself. You build it up, you toiled for it, it's yours, you take it. And what else, and something else here within the cards, it is that if you are feeling emotionally distressed right now, that is a week where that emotional distress is going to go away, at least for the week. Why don't I go for a vacation? For a couple of reasons. Actually, the reasons are 3 of them. I don't have whom with. I don't have a destination. It's just that it didn't cross my mind. And I hate traveling. You know, that is why I don't go for vacation. But I was planning to this summer to go to my brother for a week. I haven't broke the news to him yet. Okay, I haven't broke the news to him yet. So hopefully he's gonna be reciprocal to it. But yeah, I may visit London this summer. I don't know when, but we'll see. All right, Capricorn, 4 of Cups, 5 of Wands, 3 of Pentacles. You want me to sleep on the street? Knowing him, he ain't gonna be happy, okay? He ain't gonna be happy, and there is a very big chance he will let me be on the street in the patio of his condominium. Anyway, all about relationships, Capricorn. All about relationship, but exploring what kind of a future those relationships can have. That's going to be a week where the and that is the thing. It's going to be subtle. Okay, it's going to be subtle. It's going to be very effective in a way how this is going to be communicated, because this is a week of communications. Okay, you and the important people around you, whether business partners, whether colleagues, whether bosses, I don't know, whether important friends or lovers, people of interest, whatever the case, the communication in between you two is going to be super supportive, and not just only supportive, but also a very fruitful, because there are going to be things said, there are going to be things figured out in between you and these people. And whatever the case, some kind of a future is going to be established, or at least an idea for some kind of a future that is going to work for either of you. Just should not surprise. Okay, flabbergasting is not a good factor into the upcoming week, so you should be subtle rather than trying to kind of like grill the people that are in front of you. That it will be very important. And don't do anything, I don't want to say irrational, but more like out of the blue, right? Out of character of yours. Because that is also something that is gonna burn out the opportunity for the future that stands in front of you that we do have within these cards. So be patient, be how do you call it, a open for cooperation and as well for conversations, and you're going to figure it out with these people. To go into the mountain, that is the last place I'm gonna go ever. I mean, oh, do you know how many stories there are for disappearances into the mountain? I mean, it's ridiculous, and it's so easy to get, not just only to get lost, you may break an ankle, which is very easy to do into the mountain, and you can't even explain where you are. That's the sad part in it. You know, going into the mountain, hiking the mountain in general, you gotta be lucky all the time with it, and only once your luck slips out of your grasp and you're screwed. Where I will be going, or if I am to go somewhere, that's gonna be London. Just don't know when. It's gonna be somewhere in the summer. Page of Swords. If I am to go, because my brother could say, you know, yes, you can come, but not at my place. The Sun. 10 of Wands. It's great. It's great for a for Aquarius, and actually this is a rising sign of mine. So guys, two narratives that we have in front of us. Super original thought, whether original thought for a business, whether original thought for a hobby, whatever case, super original thought that will bring an expanding energies of growth within our lives. But it will be very demanding, quite demanding in terms of investment, in terms of performance, in terms of resources in general. But it will be promising super big rewards, monetary gains, happiness, respect, and everything that carries on with it. Now, other narrative, social circle purge. What I mean is that just cutting off people that don't belong around us, people that are like Anna, I believe, said drainers, so to speak, and basically severing the connections with those people and leaving around only those that makes us happy. And the last narrative that we do have here for Aquarius, unexpected help that makes things to work in our favor, all of the things to work in our favor. So that's going to be the week where, you know, the very least we're going to find out that we're not alone in this, whatever it is. Well, I didn't have many spots in my childhood, aside from being at home, Cinnamon Kiss. Both of us around, like me and Cinnamon Kiss, you mean? Oh, that doesn't drink does not apply for Guinness. You know, that is the only thing I can drink. I was introduced to it when I was first time in England, and I was introduced to it like, you know, that's a beverage with a lot of vitamins in it, you know, and a lot of iron and whatever the case. And I never drunk it, and I tasted it, and that's really really nice, and I liked it. Shame you can't find good Guinness here. In fact, you can't find good Guinness anywhere unless, you know, Ireland and United Kingdom. Because the thing about Guinness is that it spoils very quickly. It spoils for about a couple of days, and in order to preserve for the other countries rather than Ireland and England, there is a lot of conservants and stabilizers in it, and it makes it more bitter than it should be, and it spoils the taste, and it makes it just taste like a normal beer, dark beer. And you know, I tried it here in Irish pub, and that's just not Guinness. You know, that's just not Guinness. All right, Pisces. I love it. Two of Cups. Uh, Aeon or Judgment is the other card. Queen of Wands. Oh, this is how we have it. Or Pisces. Those three. Actually, Taco, we have a lot of a good beer here in Bulgaria. And yeah, there is one that it is coming very, very close to the Guinness, but it is not exactly Guinness. Okay. So it comes very close to it, but it isn't it. And let me finish here with Pisces. So guys, this is going to be a tough week for those of you who are in a committed relationship, because the question is going to come here, and it comes from these couple of cards. Is this really the right, whether thing for me right now, or whether a person for me right now? Is that the right person for me right now? We do have a passive enemies into that elemental dignity, which is gonna put a lot of strain in there. You know, how, for example, how much you can trust one another, how much you are above everything else open to one another and whatnot. And another thing is that you are going to grow more and more suspicious to whatever partnerships you have. That includes friendships, that includes co-working relationships as well. And how can I put it into words? How much you have been told from the whole truth, and how much you know the big picture that is in there. And generally, you're going to have a hard time fitting into the big picture of your life, whatever partnerships and relationships you do have. And the reason for that is going to be because growing in time throughout the week, less and less you are gonna have a grasp on what the other side kind of like needs and is getting from, right? So somewhere along the way throughout the week, you will see your girlfriend or your boyfriend, whatever the preference is, and the question is going to be, do I really know that person? Because there are things and stuff they want and need that, it's just not my thing. But hey, that is something that is going to carry on just for the week. It could be, a weird situation that it is one-time thing. So don't make anything rational throughout the week. All right, so that was for the 12th. And now going forward with the super chat. No, there isn't anything like Guinness. It's a copywritten, I believe, and patented recipe. So even if someone knows it, can't make it. Well, News Devon, let's come to that. Okay, let's come to that for me to go to London, and we're gonna figure out from there. All right, first, Rocky. Yo, I have no clue, Taco. If you say it is, it is. I have no clue, but I never saw anything like it. All right, Rocky. This is what we have here. And this week you're gonna find a very clever way to make money. That's what we have, okay? So it's all about the money, and it's all about building and increasing those money, which can I put it into words? Well, Bulgaria is also a country where we drink a lot of beer. I mean, Bulgarians, we do drink a lot of beer and wine as well. How can I explain it here, Rocky? This is an ongoing procedure, let's call it that way. And making money through that procedure isn't the issue. The issue is how those money are made. And it's more of a toil than it is beneficial, but you are going to figure out a better way of making those money. So the only thing that's kind of like I can think of is some kind of a project at work that's, you know, there is a lot of resources that can be extracted from it, and right now the extraction isn't exactly ideal, but you're going to come up with a really good plan and really good idea how, you know, you can make it better. Optimizing, it is what I can call it here. But it will require more of a teamwork than it is right now. So you're going to have to kind of like bring more people into the matter itself. So this money operation as well is going to affect you personally, so won't be surprised if you kind of like get some kind of a promise of a raise or a bonus or some kind of a new avenue of a money flow into the upcoming week. Other than that, this is going to be a week where you are going to have to do chores. You're going to have to do chores that have nothing to do with things you like, have nothing to do with things you wish, but they will be necessary in order for you to face the ups and downs that, you know, life presents with Bear, and to have more time for yourself later on. I do apologize. All right, next. Taco. What a profession, eh? All right, Taco. These are cards here. What do you mean different reading, Taco? Mm. According to the cards, the main topic and the main subject for you, Taco, is going to be probably your marriage. Here there is a woman involved, and you are in a partnership, so to speak, with her. So this is why I do believe that is about the marriage that you are in. And the week is going to be all about this stagnation, for as much as it is there, and the reason why that stagnation is there. And the reason is, or rather, like, the reason does have a name. It's not an affair, but it is just a name. It could be some common, mutual friend. It could be someone from, you know, either your family or her family, whatever the case. It is not about an affair in either way, according to these cards, the very least. And it's how can I put it into words? This week isn't about even. Isn't about even, you know, having a very serious conversations or a prolonged and such. It's more about kind of like seeing what you have bigger than this obstacle, so to speak. And so this week you will see your marriage in a different light. It could be slightly different, but it's gonna make a big difference here. And above everything else, you both are going to realize how much you mean for one another. And in fact, this is gonna be a artificial fear, but still you are gonna be very afraid to lose that marriage, or to lose each other as a you know, partner in life. And that is going to stir. This is going to stir the things you are planning. This is going to stir the things you are preparing for one another or with one another. And by the end of the week, it's very likely that whatever plans have been set on hold or whatever preparation is set on hold in between you two. For example, you may be preparing to move house, or you may be preparing some kind of vacation, but it is set on hold because of that obstacle. Well, whatever had been set on hold in between you two is gonna start again and is going to be initiated because that obstacle will be no more. Well, Cinemonkeys, aside from Tarot, I'm using also a different system that does show events, and that is an event for Taco, you know, the marriage, because marriage is an event that carries on for a lifetime. Sometimes it's just a phone call, sometimes it's, I don't know, a contract, whatever the case. Well, it could be her sister, you know, the issue there. I'm saying, you know, the issue has a name. It is a person. And yeah. Well, Cinnamon Kiss, this is a double-edged sword, you know. Sometimes there could be something unpleasant that comes up in the cards. Yeah, that's thing, Taco. That's a thing, and there is again those cards are saying that there is something you have planned or you have prepared that it isn't initiated, and that could be something that you did, I don't know, a couple of years ago, and you just forgot about it. Some kind of a plan to go somewhere, and it never came up because of other things. But now it's gonna come up again. All right, next news Devon. What do you need to know? Let's check it out. Yeah, sometimes we do have a rocky moments, don't we? These are cards. So what you need to know it is that there is a man, News Devon, that will ask you of investment. Now, I don't know what kind of investment that could be. It could be emotional. It could be monetary investment. I don't know what kind of investment that is, but it will be worth it. That is what you need to know. And for what the cards are showing is that this investment is not gonna shave off things from you, right? What I mean is that you are not gonna lose anything making that investment whatsoever. So it could be it's very likely to be an emotional one. All right, and last but not least, Anna. Yeah. It's, by the way, News Devon, it's a person you already know. They just haven't made their move yet. Well, Cinnamon Kiss, I don't know what kind of a period that was, but my first 26 years of my life, horrible, horrible years. So, yeah. Well, I can't say really horrible when you think about it, but it was tough. And those are the cards. And we do have some problems that concern your house. And when I say problems, I mean, can I put it into words? These are going to be results that surrounds your house or your home in general, that you are going to be not disappointed, but unsatisfied with. Oh, News Devon, that's all right. I mean, like I said, horrible was a quite of a strong word to use, because there is definitely people that had a more horrible experiences than me by far, right? I just, it wasn't, you know, I would say that way. My parents did the best they could, but just they could do just so much due to the situation that they were in as well. Anyway, back to you, Anna. So problems which are created by your decisions. So what I mean is that, just giving you an example here, I don't know if that's the case, but giving you an example, you choose a contractor to renovate your kitchen, okay? And this week you may find a problem with that renovation and be quite unsatisfied with the contractor, or you may have I don't know, decided to look for a new house and just you have problem finding a new house. It's just there is going to be a problem that concerns your home, which is created by your recent decisions, okay? And the decision itself was made right. What I mean is that if the decision was to renovate your kitchen, it was the right decision. Or if the decision was to look for another house, it was the right decision. It's just right now, the, how can I put it into words, the environment is as such, okay? And you couldn't have had it better by that point, but things are gonna get better into the future, and that problem, as suddenly as appears, is going to go away as well. And from there, at least according to these cards, the whole issue, as is gonna end, will end in a very fulfilling way. So here, for what those cards are showing, Anna, it is that, again, within the next week, there is going to be some issue that will appear that concerns your house, your home in general. Don't freak out. It is something that is going to go away, and the resolution will be very, very fulfilling for you. Oh, far better, News Devon, far better. In fact, right now I do have a life that I always wanted. And it's a very simple thing that I wanted. I wanted peace. Okay, I just wanted peace. And now I have it. Peace and the ability to fulfill the basic needs of oneself. To have what to eat, to have an internet, TV, smoking if you do it. I don't care about expensive cars or houses or whatever the case. I just want to have the basics. That's what I need. And peace. I don't want to be bothered. And to have my day-to-day routine dynamic. If I have more than one thing to do a day, it sucks, then the day sucks. Okay. So, yeah. And I have it that way. And many people find my life boring and unfulfilling and without purpose. And how was I called by one of my girlfriend? Person who has no perspective in it whatsoever. Well, I got my perspective, right? I have fulfilled my perspective, and my perspective is to live in peace. You're welcome, Anna. Hang on strong there. Alright, guys, so that's gonna cut it for tonight. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for your generosity. And we're gonna see each other next time. Until then, bye.